Okay, I'm going to quickly take you through how to create a scatter plot and find a regression. The first thing is make sure your memory is clear just in case there's some old junk in the calculator from the person before you. Now, before you start, we're going to turn on diagnostics, which is basically going to turn on your correlation coefficient, if you know what that is. So this may be an easier way to find it, but I always have to go to the catalog. So I hit second catalog, and I'm going to go and till I get to the D's, and I'm going to do diagnostics on. I'm almost there. There it is. Diagnostic on, and I need to hit enter. Enter again, and it says done. Great. Okay, now we're ready to create our scatter plot. So if you go to the stat button, S-T-A-T, and hit that, once you hit edit, this is where you put your X and your Y values. So what I have here is we're going to pretend like this is a problem where we've been given this data, and there may be a word problem behind it. I don't know, but these are my X's. This is my my Y column, and I'm just going to enter those values. So it's just you hit enter, and it'll make you go quicker. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then matching Y's next to it, just make sure that you line them up, right? 75, 100, 101, la la la, negative 80. Okay, so these are all of my values. Now, what I do next is before if I don't know what the pattern of this is, maybe it's linear, maybe quadratic, maybe exponential, I like to look at the points first. So the way that you do that is you first have to go to your Y equals, and you're going to arrow up and turn that on. So if I arrow to plot 1 and hit enter, now my points will be there. Now I'm not going to hit graph yet. I'm actually going to go to zoom, and because somewhere on the zoom screen it says zoom stat. That's the one that you want because we just entered our points on the stat screen. Now you can see your points. Beautiful points. Now, how do they look? What do they look like? A line, a parabola, or exponential? Well, to me, it looks like a parabola. So what that means is I'm going to go to the blank screen, and if I want to get the equation for that, I go back to stat, over to calc, and I search this list for quadratic. Now you have all these choices, guys. Some of them you may or may not know what they mean, but that looked like a parabola, and a parabola is a quadratic. So I'm going to hit enter. And this just, you don't touch these. This just means that this was the list that I used. On store regression, I'm going to store this into my Y. That way I don't have to retype it later. So to do that, you hit alpha, calc, and there's Y1 right there. So I'm going to store this equation in Y1, and then I go to calculate. Yay, there it is. Okay, so here's my equation. It's giving me the A, B, and C, and it's giving me my R squared, which that's like your correlation coefficient if you see an R or R squared, and this is a good sign because remember, if it's 1, that means it's pretty much perfect. So this is a number really close to 1, so I know this equation is really good. And now when I hit graph, I'm going to see that line go through those points and how close it really is. Woohoo! So that is doing a regression in the calculator.